loot boxes. It's a fucking contentious one, that, innit? Eh? So we've recently just had the Halloween event on Overwatch, and to be honest, similar things to the last event. Drop rates seem really low. Anyway, every event I buy, excuse me, every event I buy 11 loot boxes. I'm not a whale, so just 11, and just try and support the developers that way, because I do like Overwatch. So let's fire a bit of money their way. I think they deserve that much, and let's have a little poke, see what skins we get. I actually recorded those 11. So yeah, I was talking with my friend at work the other day about the Overwatch loot boxes and the kind of current climate slash it. Fuck off, phone. Fuck off. So yeah, I was talking to my I was talking to my friend the other day at work about the Overwatch loot boxes and just kind of where they're at right now. And yeah, I was telling him basically I was gonna buy 11 like I usually do. And he kind of talked me out of it. He spoke a lot of sense. You know, it's not really worth it. You're probably not going to get very much. We talked about how like kind of other YouTubers have opened like 50 or 100 and got pretty much jack shit out of those boxes. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to buy it this year. Went home and immediately bought 11. So here are my loot boxes. This is the 11 I bought, so you can see on screen the amount of luck I had. I've not wrote any script for this video, by the way, so I apologise if I trail off at times, but I guess what I'm trying to touch on here is have the drop rates on these loot boxes been lowered? I don't know, I just feel like I'm getting less luck recently, and you know, anyone who watches any sort of YouTube or gaming news knows that loot boxes are in the news right now. Everyone's talking about it. It seems like every game's doing it. It's becoming even more contentious because obviously AAA games are doing it. Even fucking single player games are doing it. Middle-earth Shadow of War has some pay to win elements in there. Also Assassin's Creed, I believe, has some, I believe it's purely cosmetic on Assassin's Creed, but it's besides the point. These are single player games. Why are they crafting in these loot boxes where they're simply not needed? It's just a money grab, and these games they're charging us full whack. This isn't an indie title. We're not paying £12 for this game. This is a full whack, like 50 quid game, and they're throwing loot boxes on it to, you know, to kind of just milk the shit out of people, I guess. So with that said, actually the way Overwatch does it, it's slightly more noble than it's not great, but it's slightly more noble than most. Bang, and a skin. That's the one I wanted, so partially happy with that. But yeah, the way Overwatch do it is slightly better in the respect that it's purely cosmetic. You can grind out the loot boxes in game as well if you're totally committed, and you even can earn 3 of them through the arcade every week, which is nice. So that's pretty cool. But at the same time, with the changes that they made a few months back with the way the drops work, no more duplicates. Great, now I get more fucking voice lines, and totally stifling the gold income. I used to be able to at least buy the ones I wanted when I got to events with the gold I have. I can't play excessively. I work full time. I know some people would say, well, just play more. That's cool, but I don't want to be spending all my time on Overwatch. There's other games out there too, so I play what time I can on Overwatch, and also I work and all that good stuff of being an adult. So yeah, it's a bit. It's a bit, I don't know, recently. I'm not quite loving the way loot boxes work. When I first heard less duplicates, I thought great. I've also noticed, actually, I don't know if you've noticed through the drops here, that and it's not just with these drops, throughout the event, I've been getting legendary skins that actually aren't event specific. Now, I was under the impression that Blizzard were prioritising this, so yeah, let me know what you think about that. So, bit of a moan, but yeah, yeah, I just wanted to talk about it really, and just kind of what's going on with loot boxes right now. Are they taking a piss a bit? I think maybe a little bit. I just feel like the drops are different these days, or maybe it's just, maybe it is my luck. So yeah, that's my little take on the Halloween event this year. So yeah. So I guess my closing thoughts are, really I'd like to see Blizzard release the actual drop rates. I know the Chinese ones were released, well, kind of enforced through Chinese law recently. Basically, if you didn't know, China passed a law that any games developer kind of has to release the drop chances of anything that may be contained in a loot box, because that's the problem with a loot box. You're buying a fucking loot box, you don't know what you're gonna get. Many people argue it's gambling. I actually do agree. I think it's definitely gambling. The whole sparkling lights and the zing and the fucking music, it's all there to kind of reel in the you know, the addictive personalities, the people who like gambling. And the problem is, kids play these games, you know. That's what we forget. Kids play these games. Kids will play games like Overwatch, you know. It's a pretty soft shooter in that respect. There's hardly any real violence besides the obvious bullets hitting people in the face, but there's no blood, there's no gore. It's a pretty child-friendly game in that respect, with all the cutesy character designs. So people like that will be playing this game, and that to me is that's an issue. That's an issue in itself. I do believe there was a vote passed recently. Basically, there was this kind of petition filled out online where enough people got enough signatures together that basically forced Parliament to look at it. And yeah, you know, we'll see where that goes in the future. But I think loot boxes are slowly becoming a bit of an issue in the games industry as a whole. It seems everyone wants a piece of that pie. Microtransactions are fucking everywhere. I'm a bit of an old school gamer. I miss the days where you just bought an expansion pack. Fuck DLC, fuck these fucking season passes. I miss a good solid expansion pack, you know. You look back to the old games, you know, when you Baldur's Gate 2 and all that shit, you know. It was, you bought an expansion pack, that was it, and you got hours and hours. You basically got this whole new game, whereas now it's like you get these little bite-sized nuggets, you know, for fucking £8. It lasts you like 2 hours. And yeah, and it rant over. I could go on for days, but yeah. Happy weekend, y'all, and good luck in your loot boxes, yeah.